everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to another week of creativity. I have got a beautiful Christmas card to make with you today using some brand new products from the new Mini Catalogue. Mini Catalogue is now live. I can show you the inside so we can have a look at some of the products in there. So it's really exciting, and I know that a lot of people have already been enjoying this catalogue. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. So as everyone is finding their notifications that I have gone live, I'm just going to bring this up on my other devices so that I can see everyone's comments there. So bear with me while I just set that up, and then we will be all good. All right, so iPad is set up, and let's see how we go with the computer today. Wow, interesting, because last week there was a few issues trying to watch this replay as I'm filming on my computer, and it was a bit weird last week, and this week it's back to normal. Yay! So that's really good. Oh, who can even tell these days what's going to happen week to week? Things are always changing with technology and social media, and it's hard to keep up sometimes. All right, so we are all set up. So as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know that you are here, and feel free to chat along with me and craft along with me as well. Now, if you are here live with me today, you will see the red live button up in the top left-hand corner of the screen. If you don't see that, then you'll know you're watching the replay. And thank you to all my replay warriors. And if you are watching over on YouTube, then you are definitely watching the replay, because I do upload all of my videos over there to YouTube after I've finished filming here on Facebook. So thank you to all of you who come over and watch my replay over on YouTube as well. It's great to have everyone here. Hey Dimity, hey Angela, great to have you here, ladies. Yep, so we have got, I'm going to share some new products with you today. We're going to be making a beautiful Christmas card, and because we're already in September, right? So we haven't got long now till Christmas. It's creeping up very quickly, and I think September is a good time to start on our Christmas cards. Let me know in the comments when you typically start on your Christmas cards, or perhaps you've already started already. Let me know in the comments when you usually start your Christmas cards. We usually do start around September. Amber and I usually start creating them around September when the mini catalogue comes out. Yeah, and we usually create around about 85 Christmas cards each year, or maybe a few more because we do some samples as well, but around 85 to 90 Christmas cards we create each year that get sent out to people. So yeah, it's a fun time of year. I've got my little galah on today, my little galah brooch with my my gum leaves as well from our beautiful gum trees. So yeah, I love the colors in this one. It's so pretty, because of course I love pink, as you know, and I love galahs. They're so beautiful, and we actually get galahs from time to time in the park just near our street. We've got a park with big gum trees there. Then some play equipment and picnic tables and things. And actually, as Amber and I were driving out the other day, where were we going? I think it was Friday. We're going shopping or something, and there was a galah. Mum and Amber was like, "Mum, look, there's a galah," and yeah, it's just foraging there in amongst the grasses there. So they're really pretty birds. I love the colours. All right. Okay, so we have got lots of things. Oh, do you know what? I didn't even grab out my brochures to show you. I thought I had them right here, and I've pulled out my catalogues and I forgot to grab my brochures. So let me grab them, because there's some really cool stuff coming up that I wanted to share with you. I want to show you my flyers. So bear with me one sec. I'm going to grab them from my other shelf over there. So just 2 secs. Got them here in my trusty folder. We have got quite a few things coming up. We've got some new kits that came out last week. So when I filmed last week, let me see. So I filmed on the 1st and today's the 8th of September 2025. So that was just before all the new stuff came out on the 3rd last week. So I saw you, or I spoke to you last before that all came out. So let me share with you a few new things. So we obviously, as I said, the mini catalogue went live to customers. Now, if you don't already have one of these mini catalogues and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you're working with here in Australia, please feel free to let me know, and I'd love to get one of these mini catalogues out to you. There's lots of beautiful, beautiful products in there. So I'd love to send one out to you. Please get in contact with me and let me know. I do have a request link. You can request it directly from my catalogue request link. So let me put that in the description for you, in the comments, sorry. And I will make sure all of my links are in the description over on YouTube as well. Let me see if I can get that one here. Yep, there it is. Get that one and pop that in the comments. Now, all of my customers who have shopped with me in the last 6 months should have already received their catalogues. They were posted out a couple of weeks ago now. So you should have already received those. If you haven't, if you're a customer of mine and you haven't received a catalogue, please get in contact with me and let me know, and I can chase that up. And we can make sure that we get you sorted with that. Now, not only that, but also on the 3rd, we had some brand new online exclusive products. Sorry, you're probably seeing this back to front, but we had some beautiful online exclusive products released as well. And I do have a little PDF brochure that shows all of those, which I can show you now. But there's, it's upside down, but there's pages and pages. So you can go to the online exclusives in the online store. Got some more there and some more there. And you can check those out there. If you'd like a copy of this brochure, let me know, because I do have a PDF copy that I can email to you as well. Or I can send it in Messenger also. And then we've got more here and more here. So that's on top of the new mini catalogue. So lots and lots of beautiful new products, which is always exciting to get new products. So definitely go to the online store and check those out. Now, of course, on the same day, we had 2 new kits released as well. We have a beautiful Christmas kit. This one is called The Road to Christmas, with these cute little old utes, as we call them, utes in Australia. In America, I think you call them pickup trucks. But they're really cute. You've got cute little doggies here as well. Really cute kit. That's a non-stamping kit, so it's a really easy one to put together. A great one to craft along with your friends as well, especially if they haven't ever crafted before. This is an easy one because there's no stamping involved or anything. They just need to basically piece it all together. So that's really cool. And then we have the handmade and heartfelt kit. So this one as well is so beautiful. So this one has 5 cards or 5 designs, and you get enough products in the kit to make 2 of each, so a total of 10 cards. Plus you get the card organizer here. It's a stamping set, so you get the stamp set, the inks, the block, the embellishments, the twine, and all the bits and pieces to make the 10 cards in the kit. Now this one is the kit that Stampin' Up! Are using for the World Card Making Day event. Now I have an event coming up on that day as well for World Card Making Day. If you can't make it in person, you can actually do it online as well. So you can order the kit yourself, or you can, it's a free event for the online portion that Stampin' Up! Is doing. It's a free event, so you can actually just watch along, or you can purchase this kit and you can craft along with them as well. Okay, so I've got an in-person event here at my place in my studio from 1:30 till 4 o'clock on that day. We are going to be crafting along with Stampin' Up! For part of the time, and then we'll be doing our own our own crafting together as well, and having a yummy afternoon tea together, of course. So I do have the registrations for that open. I will put the link, hang on one sec, where am I going? I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here on my, I'm trying to put my do not disturb on because I just realized that I forgot to put that on. So just do that via my watch, which is good because that turns all of my devices onto do not disturb. We don't want any disturbances when we're crafting, do we? So yeah, so if you would like to come and join in and craft along in person, I do have two options for that, either with the whole entire complete kit, or you can just do 5 of the projects. That doesn't include product, it's just the kits to make the cards. So you can just put the card, just create the cards. But I will, anyway, I will, all the explanation is in my, my registration form for that event. Or as I said, if you go to the online store and you just want to do it at home yourself, you can do it at home. Perhaps you would like to invite friends over to come and do it with you. Then you can do that with the Stampin' Up! Recording. You just need to register via the online store for that portion. Okay, so let me grab, hang on, I've got to find where I've put it now. Classes, here we go. This is it. World Card Making Day at Mandy's studio. Put that in here. There we go. Okay, so registration form for that is there. If you would like to take a look at that to see if you'd like to come along, or perhaps just make it at home. But yeah, it's so beautiful. Look at those projects, and they're all occasion cards. They're really, really pretty. I love the colors in this kit. It's absolutely stunning. So that's going to be a fun one to do. Okay, so that is happening. Now, I've also got, because we've got the new mini catalogue, I've also got my paper shares, and they are going to be closing. The registration for that is closing on the 10th. So that's this Wednesday. So if you wanted to get a share of some of those beautiful new designer series papers, and there's also an option there as well for some of the Christmas sentiment ephemera, you can go there as well and check that out. There are images of all of the papers that are included and a list of how much you get in my registration. So there is a QR code there that you can scan on your mobile device, or I'll put the link in the comments. Hi, Dimity. You're back again. Did you drop out, did you? You dropped out and you came back again. Good to have you back. All right, so let me grab that one for you. So that's the product shares. Wait a minute, I've got to grab the right one. Oh, there it is. So that's the Christmas paper and ephemera share. And we'll pop that one in the comments too. There we go. Yes, so if you would like to register for that, I already have some people already registered for that. So yeah, you need to register by the 10th, and then payments are due by the 12th, so that I can get those products ordered. Okay, so it's a great way of getting, if you've never done a product share before, or you're unsure of what a product share is, basically rather than getting a complete pack of papers, you'll get a portion of a pack of papers. So you're not outlaying for a whole pack of papers. And I think we've got, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs of papers that we are sharing. And then we've got the Greetings for You Mix and Match ephemera pack as well, and you'll get a share of that also. It's all listed for you, how much you get in the registration form. So you can have a look there. So it'll tell you how many pieces and what size pieces they will be from those packs. So it's a great affordable way of getting a whole heap of different products, or getting a share of a whole heap of different products, rather than outlaying a lot of money for complete packs of everything when perhaps you don't need that much or you won't use that much. And it's also a great way of discovering the ones that you really like, because if you're given a quarter of a pack of one particular paper and you decide that you really love it, then you use that up, then you know that you love it and you can buy a whole complete pack thereafter if you choose to, etc. So definitely go and just have a look, see if that's something that you'd like to participate in, and yeah, and then you can register if you would like to. All right, lots and lots of things coming up. So something else that has a registration closing this week as well is, it is actually closing tomorrow, is my Kintsugi Inspiration card classes. Now I've got 2 classes, one on Wednesday the 24th and one on Saturday the 27th of September. This is using the Kintsugi Inspirations suite from the annual catalogue. You can check that out. Actually, I'll show you in the catalogue if you haven't seen it already. Just find that the products in there are absolutely beautiful, and with the gold foiling through the paper, it's so pretty. So we've got that one coming up. There it is. So on pages 58 and 59 of the annual catalogue, so this big one, they're the products there that we're going to be using in the class. Okay. So you can check that out. You do get some product as part of your class. So you're going to get some designer series paper, you're going to get some ribbon and some bling, and then you'll have the use of the stamps and dies and embossing folder. You can purchase them, you can add them on additionally to your class if you like as well. There's an option there in the registration form if you would like to do that. You can get those as well, or you can just use mine on the day, yeah, and then decide if that's something that you might like to order later. All right, so that is coming up. Make sure that you register by 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And then, yeah, I will send you an invoice for payment, and you'll get to create some beautiful cards. So we're going to make 3 cards in the class, and then you'll have extra product to take home so you can keep creating at home. You might want to make multiple projects of the ones that I've done, or you might like to do your own. Yeah, so definitely check that one out. Yes, I will put the link up for that one. And so we've got the Kintsugi Inspirations, and let's put that one in there. There we go. Hey Leslie, how you going? Lovely to have you here with us today. And I just saw a comment there from Amber. Yes, Amber says she gets bored of using the same paper for all of Christmas projects, and she finds a share is perfect to keep it interesting and creative. Definitely, yeah, because when we're creating so many, to keep using the same product over and over and over, it can get very boring. So it's lovely to have a bit of variety. Bit of, what do they say? Variety is the spice of life, or something like that. So yeah, paper share is great for that. All right, now the other big news is, need to jump on this one quickly because Saturday coming on the 13th of September, I am having, let's put it up the right way, a retired product sale in person. So you can come and shop and grab a bargain up to 70% off those, a lot of those items. And I need to clear space. I need to clear stuff out. I need to clear space because I'm running out of room to store it all, to be honest. I need some more space. So they're going to be heavily reduced. They're in good condition. You can come and shop and see what you like. I've got stamps and dies and embossing folders and embellishments and paper, mountains and mountains of paper. I've got, what else have we got? Ribbons, so many ribbons and embellishments. What have I missed? Punches as well, and lots of other bits and pieces. So come along. There is a registration for this one as well, just so that I know who is coming at what time, so I know how many to expect and can make sure that I can, you know, fit everybody in. We want enough room for everyone to shop comfortably. So yeah, so definitely check that out. So I'm going to pop that one in. Oh, I've just clicked on the wrong thing. Hang on, not that one. I'll pop that one in the comments as well. So then you've got all of the individual links there in the comments. And if you're watching back on YouTube, I'll make sure that all of the links are in the description below. All right, so that's the one I want, and we'll pop that in. And I think that's all of the goings on. It's been a really, really busy time. We've had so much going on. We've had classes. We had a beautiful team event on Saturday, which was so lovely. It was so great to gather with some of my team members. We had some here in person, and then we had some join us online as well. Yeah, we had a fantastic day together. I brought a couple of things to show you. So I had some samples of some projects from the Mini Catalogue, 2 of which I'm going to show you today. The other ones I'm keeping because we'll use them over the coming weeks. But I had some sample projects displayed from this catalogue. And then you might see up behind me, I've got my display frame up there too. Some of those projects were also displayed, and then some of our team members also brought along some beautiful projects that they displayed on the day as well. So it was fantastic to share in that with each other. And then we made our own cute little name tags using the Silly Safari animals, which is really cute. And we used those new banner dies as well, because that's the first time I've used them. I've got them just a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't had a chance to use them yet. So we used them to make really cool name tags. So aren't they just so cute? Look at that cute little monkey. He's so cheeky and cute. So we made our own name tags, and then we had a mystery card swap. So we each brought along a card and popped it in the box, and then Amber mixed them up for us, and then everyone went around and drew a card out of the box without looking. And this is the beautiful one that I received, or that I chose, and this one was made by Robin. So using the Terrific Toadstools stamp set, which is really cute, which is still available actually. The Terrific Toadstools stamp set and punch is still available. So you can still get that. I think the paper was celebration paper from earlier this year, so that one's gone. But the stamp set and the punch are still available. So super cute. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun, and then we had a yummy lunch together. Everybody brought something for lunch, and we had so much food and so much leftovers. Everyone took stuff home. But I think everyone went into a bit of food coma because we had so much food, but it was so good. And then a yummy afternoon tea as well. We also had our team gathering. So we had our usual team gathering, and we had a special guest visitor from the Stampin' Up! Sydney office as well, who did a presentation for us, which was fantastic as well. So yeah, just some of the fun things we do together as a team. So if you would like to join us, then please feel free to get in contact with me, and I would love to give you more information about joining our team. It only costs $169, and you get to choose for that $235 worth of product to put into your starter kit, and you get free shipping on that, and you're only going to pay $169 for that. Then you get to also join in all of the fun team stuff. We have a team Facebook group. We do lots of things in the team Facebook group. I try to have get-togethers with my team about once a quarter. And then we do fun things throughout the year, and we have challenges, and we have showcase stamper. My team get tutorials from me each month, and all different sorts of things. And then there's the wider Stampin' Up! Community as well that you can be part of as well. Plus you get an ongoing discount of 20%, minimum 20% on your Stampin' Up products. So it's a win-win. And then you can leave it anytime. You don't need to sell product if you don't want to. You can just purchase for yourself and enjoy the discount and be a happy shopper. So if you would like more information about that, please feel free to let me know, get in contact with me. I will actually put my, oh, that's not the one, it's this one. I'll actually put my other links up here too, because my, oh, hang on, where is it? It's not that one, it's this one, yeah. Because if you want to have a look at more information about joining, you can have a look under my join link as well. When you click on that, it doesn't automatically join you up, but it gives you information first. And then if you decide that that's for you, then you click through and you just follow the prompts to register. But if you need any help or you have any questions, please feel free to get in contact with me, and I'd love to have a chat with you, either online or email or by phone, whatever you are most comfortable with. All right, now, how was everybody else's weekend? I've told you a bit about mine. What else did everybody else get up to? Yesterday was a special day for a lot of people. We had Father's Day here in Australia. I know in different countries they celebrate it on different days, but here in Australia, for us, it was yesterday. We didn't do anything super exciting. Amber had a few ideas for Dad, but he just wanted to do his gardening, to be honest. He loves being out in the garden, so he said, no, I'm just happy to be at home and just do some gardening. So that's what he did. That's all he wanted to do. Our son was not well, so he couldn't join us. He and his wife, they couldn't join us, and our other daughter's in Queensland, of course. So we did get to speak to her, but didn't get to actually see her. Yeah, so we just had a quiet one. What about everybody else? Did anybody else do anything exciting or special with the men in their lives? Let me know in the comments. All right, now, while I'm waiting for all of your comments to come up, I'm just going to move all of this stuff out of the way. Put that over there. Got my mini catalogue, and I talked about the online exclusives, so I'll put that to the side. So we're using mini catalogue product today. So, okay, so there we go. So share with me in the comments share with me in the comments one thing that you did on the weekend. Doesn't have to be an essay, just one thing. Can be an essay if you want to tell me more. Happy to have you share more, but just tell me one thing in the comments that you did on the weekend. Let me know. All right, now while we're waiting for all of those comments to come through, I will get ready to tip the camera down onto the desktop so that we can get crafting, because it's already 4:30, so we probably should get some crafting underway. All right, so let's cover up the camera. Gee, that time goes fast, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, so fast. All right, I'm going to cover up the camera. Keep chatting. You joined me on Zoom. You certainly did, Dimity. Yes, we had a lovely afternoon, didn't we, on Zoom with our team? It was great. It was lovely to have you with us on Saturday as well. All right, I'm going to cover up the camera while I just tip the camera down to the desktop to get that ready. So bear with me while I just do that. Alrighty. Tighten that up nice and tight. There we go. And I just realised I didn't plug in the power to my phone. I had it plugged into my iPad, so I probably should do that. There we go. Alrighty, so let's see now. Okay, let's do a flippity flip and a zoomy zoom zoom. There we go. All right. Now where's my little spirit level? And I'll just check that I've got that straight. Nope. Just tweak this a little bit. bear with me 2 secs while I get this. Is it flat? It's always hard to tell. It's not quite straight, but it's nearly there. That's a bit better. All right. How is that looking? That looks not too bad. Okay. Leslie said they had a quiet day for Father's Day. You celebrated your daughter-in-law's 40th birthday on Saturday. Oh, lovely. Very special. Wow. I remember my 40th. We had a big party, and seems like forever ago now. I can't believe that it was 15 years ago. Oh my goodness. It's a long time when you say it like that, isn't it? Oh, that's so lovely. I'm glad that she had a lovely day. That's awesome. Hi, Kay. How are you? Great to have you with us. All right. Now, let me move my keyboard up out of the way. We are going to be playing with some beautiful products from the new Mini Catalogue. Who's got their new Mini Catalogue? Let me know in the comments if you have yours, or even if you haven't got yours, let me know in the comments too. Now, is the view a little bit too far away? Do you need me to zoom in a little bit more? What do you think? Let's open up to the page of the products we're going to be using today, and then we'll see when we're looking at that if you can see them well enough or not. And I know there'll be a little bit of light reflection, so if I just hold up the pages a little bit like that, hopefully you'll be able to see them better. So we're going to be playing with the Traditions of Christmas suite today. This is such a beautiful suite. Well, there's a few beautiful suites in this one actually, but this one I think is my favourite. I'm just going to move over a little bit more, trying to work out where the centre is. This one is absolutely stunning with all the gold tones in there and the florals and the Christmas greetings. It's just beautiful. So if you have a mini catalogue, it starts on page 20 and then it goes for a few pages, and there's some, there are some, you can see the products, you can see some project samples. You have yours, Leslie. Fantastic. That's great. This one is what we like to call a bumper suite because it's got 2 stamp and die bundles, plus it's got an embossing folder, plus it's got ribbon and bling, plus it's got the beautiful specialty designer series paper that has the gold foil throughout, which is absolutely gorgeous. I've got all of those products that I can show you in person in a minute. Now each of these can be purchased individually. You can purchase the whole lot as a suite, or you can just get the bundles. You might just want the stamp and dies. You might want that set, or you might want that set. If you are getting the stamp set, I do suggest getting the dies as well, because you're going to kick yourself later if you don't. Ask me how I know, because I've done it many times, and every time I kick myself and I'm like, why didn't I get those dies to begin with? And you'll save yourself 10% getting them together as a bundle. Okay, so you'll notice over on page 23, I'll move that over so you can see a little bit better. On page 23, you have the suite code here and the full price of everything combined in the suite. Then you have the individual bundles labeled, and then you've got all the individual products labeled here. Okay, now for the stamp sets and the dies, because they're labeled here as the bundles, if you don't want the complete bundles, you might just want the stamps, or you might just want the dies. Those individual ones are listed here at the end. Okay, so that's just a bit of explanation about that. We'll have a close look at all of the products in a little bit. So there are some beautiful samples, some great ideas for using this suite. All of these are available right now in the online store. If you're shopping with me, there are 2 ways you can find my online store. You can either go to my blog, which is mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and click on the shop button, or you can go to my website, which is mandywitherby.stampinup.net, and again click on the shop button. So either of those has the shop button. You can get to it either way. if you need my direct shopping link, if you're having a problem with those and you want my direct shopping link, just feel free to flick me a message and I can send you my link that'll take you straight to the store. Okay. More beautiful samples and ideas. Really love that. And then if you turn over to pages 44 and 45, there are some scrapbooking products that coordinate with this suite. If you are a scrapbooker and you want to do some scrapbooking, but also great for card makers as well. So there's an additional standalone stamp set. There is a set of two-tone cardstock in coordinating colors with the beautiful designer series paper. And there are sticker sheets that you can get with the designer series paper. So you can get the designer series paper on its own, or you can get the designer series paper with the sticker sheets if you want to use that either for your scrapbooking or for your card making. So you'll find those on page 45. Okay, so lots of options there. All right, let's have a look at these beautiful, beautiful products. First of all, of course, we need to look at the beautiful paper. Here is the stunning paper, and let me hold that up to the light. Can you see all that beautiful gold in that paper? It is so beautiful. I love it. You've got the beautiful poinsettias on there. You've got some other florals as well mixed in, and some leafy designs as well. Beautiful colors. We've got reds, we've got pinks, we've got blues. You've got the white in there as well. This one is the red and the pinks. And then you've got these beautiful florals as well. Now these ones coordinate with the dies, so you can cut them out with the dies, or you can fussy cut them, but there is a little bit of detail. And also these ones here also coordinate with the dies. So you've got the two different floral dies. All the rest of them don't coordinate with the dies. They are just standalone designs. And then on the reverse side, let's have a look on the reverse side. We've got some more solid colors with a more detail, more finer design throughout. So if you don't like the design on one side of your designer series paper, always make sure you turn it over to see what's on the reverse side, because no doubt you'll find something that you're able to use. Okay, so we're going to be using a combination of both today in our project. But how stunning is this paper? Is anybody else loving this one? Hey Glenda, how you going? Great to have you here. I just absolutely love this paper. It's really, really pretty. And of course, you can never really tell until you see it in person. That's always the best way. This is one of the papers that's included in my Christmas paper share. So, yeah. All right. Then we've got all of the other products. Now that paper, you will get 2 sheets of 12 by 12 of each of those designs in the paper pack. So you get a total of 12 sheets. Okay. You love this paper too, Dimity? Yes. Love most of the catalogue, and it is a hard choice. Yes, it is. I know. There's so many beautiful products. So we've got the, I usually do the ribbon and bling at the end. So let's do the bundles first. So as I said, there are 2 Stampin' Die bundles. You've got the Christmas Greenery, which has all of your florals. It is a 2-step stamp set. So you've got the outline or the line art design, and you can color that with your favorite coloring tools, or you can do the 2-step stamping, and you've got the solid colors that you can use to ink up and then stamp inside the designs to color them that way, which is really quick to do it that way. So you can choose either way to color your beautiful designs. Now it comes with a lovely set of dies. You've got the open dies which cut out the floral images, and then you've got some additional dies. So you've got some holly leaves and holly berries. You've got this large leaf here, and then you've got the beautiful pine leaf here. Now if you want to die cut individual flowers from these designs, you've got the individual dies here. So these are the two flowers that you can cut out, and also this little pine leaf. There is a die for that as well, and a two-step stamp to actually add colour to those if you want to do it that way as well. And even these leaves, they've been very cleverly designed in groups of 3, and there's a die for that as well. So if you want to do like almost like a paper towel sort of thing, where you want to do the layers and pop some of those elements up on layers, you could die cut, stamp an extra set, colour an extra set, and then die cut those extra elements and pop them up. I used to do a lot of that. I don't tend to do a lot of it now, but with this set, it actually makes me think that, yeah, it'll make it easy to be able to do that with this set. There's also a beautiful bow here as well that you can die cut and then add that on too. This bow is actually larger than this bow here, so it is a separate bow. Okay, the images on this stamp set are shown at, does that say 95? Hang on, I'll put my glasses on so I can read it. 85%. So you'll see that the actual designs themselves are a little bit bigger than what's on the front. Okay, so they're a good size. All right, so that's the first set. The second set is the traditional labels bundle and stamp set and dies, and this is the one that has all your different sentiments, and you've got a mixture of fonts, and you'll notice that you've got some curved sentiments here as well, and they go really well with the banner dies because they've got the banner, the curves on the banners. Sorry, I've got the light reflecting on that one. Let me just move that off camera. Then you've got these fantastic label dies. I love these. These are awesome. I love a good banner die, and they've all got different stitching elements around the edges as well, so they're pretty cool. I'll take them out of the packet so you can get a better look at them. Oops, I think I've got my photocopy there so I know how they go back on the sheet. There you go. Can you see those up a bit closer now? You see all the stitch design on those. Might be a bit hard to pick up on camera, but yeah, I think you can kind of see them there. Really beautiful, fantastic dies. So that's the traditional labels stamp set and dies, or you can get them together as a bundle and you'll save yourself 10%. Now these ones are shown at 95%, so they're just a little bit bigger than what you see on the front. Oh, I've got some extra, actually. Might use that one today. No, I'll make a new one. So I was thinking that's exactly what I wanted to do today, but I might use a different one. Oops, we've got one stamp that has slipped here, I think. Oh, some of them are still in the case, that's why. Okay. I was thinking, why is that way? Okay, because those ones have been used. These ones haven't been cleaned yet, so because they haven't been used yet, that's why. All right, so that is that stamp set. And then we've got a beautiful embossing folder. So this is the traditional wreath 3D embossing folder. It does do a very large wreath. So I'll show you, we're going to use it actually, so you'll see it when I use it. But it's a very large wreath. So if you like making the big, the large square cards, like the 15 by 15 or 14.5 by 14.5 centimeter square cards, that would be perfect. If you're making a smaller card, like a rectangle card, you'll just get a portion of the wreath, but it's still a great background. We're going to be using it today on a rectangle card, on a portrait style card. So you'll see how that turns out today. And it's really beautiful. Then we've got the gorgeous bling. Look at this. Stunning. This is the traditional sparkling sequins. And then you've got the beautiful shiny real red ribbon, which makes beautiful bows. And great for gift packaging as well, because it's just that little bit thicker. All right, so that's all the products. That's what we're playing with today. We're going to use everything today. So we're using a bit of everything. Now, these are two of the projects that Amber actually created for our display that we had on Saturday. And we are going to do a mashup of these two, and we're going to combine them. So I think I might need to zoom in just a little bit more. I'm not sure that the camera is quite close enough. When I put those down, it looks like it's a little bit far away. So I'm just going to see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Bear with me one sec while I just do this. There we go. How's that? Is that a bit better? A little bit closer? I'll just wait to see when my replay catches up. Yep, that's better. Okay, good. Good. All right. So yeah, so beautiful cards that Amber has created. Now she has only stamped the sentiments on these, but she's used the beautiful designer series paper rather than doing the stamping, but we're going to use the stamps today instead. But as you can see, that beautiful designer series paper, she's die cut them, but you can fussy cut them if you don't want to die cut them. That beautiful paper makes gorgeous cards just on its own without any stamping. I mean, apart from the sentiments. You'll need something for the sentiments, of course. So paper, 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 paper. And then she's just stamped the labels, and we do have that embossing folder in the background here as well, so you can see it gives you a beautiful detail there. All right, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to do a mashup, and we're going to change the colors. So I'm going to do this layout, but I'm going to use this paper and a different blue one and a sentiment label like this one, and we're going to do some stamping and die cutting. So let's get started. All right, I'll need that because I need to know all of the measurements. We're going to start with the white piece first, and I think this will be a traditional matte layer, but let me just double check. Yep, so she's got 10.1, so it's going to be 10.1 by 14.45, so we'll start with that. Let's bring in our trimmer. Whoops, bumping my lights here. Now, let me know if you've got any questions as we go along. Feel free to craft along with me. Okay, so I'll open up this. Oh, actually, no, I need the cardstock first, don't I, before I get to the DSP? That's right, I'm cutting that first. Pay attention, Mandy. All right, we are going 10.1 by 14.45. I'm just working on my layers first. I have to still decide what color card base I'm going to use. I've got a few different colors out. Okay, so that's the embossed layer. I'll actually show you the colors. These are the colors that we're going to be using today. So I've got the real red, let me start again. I've got Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler, Misty Moonlight, Pool Party, and Basic White. Okay, so they're the ones we're going to be using. Okay, so that is our embossed layer. Then we're going to be doing this one here, and for this one here we're actually going to be using one of the blue papers. So I'm going to use some of these pieces that have been already chopped into. And I'm going to use this one with the lines, and we're going to use some of this one. So we'll get those out. So I'm using a different blue paper to the ones that Amber used. Amber said the new gold Christmas ephemera would look beautiful with this sweet too. Oh, it would as well. And we have that beautiful Christmas ephemera in our product shares as well. So let me just see. Oops. Just going to have a look and see. I need a piece, so I think I'll cut it from the other end for the blue. All right. So we need, let's see. We've got 4.7. I should write this down on a sticky note. Let me grab a sticky note. Nearly out of my sticky note pads. I go through so many sticky notes. This is actually the last one from the pad. So we want, actually I'll write it in pen so you can all see it. Can you see that there? I'll put it there. So the first layer, so the white layer was 10.1 by 14.45. The blue DSP is going to be, what was it? 4.7 by, let's see the length, 13 centimeters. I'll move that down a bit so you can see it. There we go. And then the red is going to be, I'll just write red. It's actually cherry cobbler, but it's red. I'll write red. 9.1 by, oh, let's go down here, 6.5. 6.5. Okay. All right. So we've got our measurements there. All right. So we need our blue is 4.7 by 13. And I think I'm going to take it from the other end. Now, which way do I want my lines to go? I think that way. So if I go, yeah, I might do the length. So, oh, actually I'll do the width. So we want 4.7. I'm turn it up that way. 4. Actually, I might do the width first, 13. I might go this way first. 13 by 4.7. So I'm going to find 4.7 on the arm here, or thereabouts at least anyway, and cut. Just, it's a bit hard to see with this paper because it's very dark. There. That's at 13, so I know that's going to be 13 centimeters long. And then I'll have to turn it over this way. Measure that along here at 4.7. And then go to that first, go down to that first cut, which will take it down to the 13 centimeters. So that should be the right size. Let's just do a double check. Did I do that right? 4.7. Yeah, I made that look a bit more complicated than it should have. By 13, that's the right size. Just because the other end of my paper was chopped out because we've been cutting out the floral images from there. So that's why I just went from the other corner. All right, so that's that piece. And then this piece here is going to be 9.1 wide by 6.5. So the design is going to run across this way. So just have a look at your paper and decide which way you want it to go. Yep, that way. So it's going to be 9.1 across, 9.1 by 6.5. There we go. So we've got that piece. Okay, so we've got that piece, this one, the red one. We're doing blue instead of the green, going down that way. So there are two pieces. We're going to need a piece for our sentiment, but we're using this sentiment here, and we're going to use that that die there. So let's grab some Pool Party, and we've got our layer there that we're going to emboss. So then we want our Pool Party. So let's see, we want about 7.5 by 4. So Pool Party cardstock, 7.5 by 4 centimeters. So we'll chop that. Oh, hi Chris, how you going? Oh, your puppy escaped. Oh no. Crossed 3 very busy streets, but thankfully she is appealing. Very kind lady kept her and rang our son for collection. Husband is in the dog box for letting her out. Oh no. Oh, I'm so glad she's okay. That's so scary. Oh wow. Thankfully she was okay. All right, so we want, I'll go 4 centimeters this way. So I'm cutting, I just realized I'm cutting this off camera. 4 centimeters this way by 7.5. There we go. All right, that's for our sentiment there. And then for, oh sorry, that's for our label. For our sentiment, we want 9 by 1.4. Sentiment, 9 centimeters by 1.4. I guess you could do 1.5, it wouldn't really matter. You could go a little bit bigger at 1.5. Is that 9? Yep, 9. Okay. That's just this measurement that I'm getting here. All right, so let's do our white. So we're going to go 9 centimeters by 1.4. So I'm going to use the measurements on this side this time. 1.4 because it's just a little skinny strip that I'm cutting. 1.4 by 9. There we go, and we'll keep the rest of that white close handy in case I botch up the stamping on that one. Okay, so what we need to work out now too is what color card base we're going to use. Oh, maybe we need to do our stamping and color that first and then work all of that out. Because I'm just wondering about, well, actually, no, we can probably work it out from this. Okay, so I'll just lay all this down on the card so we can see how it's going to look. That's going to go up about there. Then we're going to have that and that. Okay, and then, so let's see what colors. I haven't got the flowers yet, but I know what I'm doing with the flowers. So we could put that on, whoops. We could put that on a pool party base. So you could have sort of the cooler colors. Or we could have it on hang on a minute. There we go. We could have it on a Misty Moonlight base. Let me just score this and fold that in half. I've already got a half sheet of A4 cardstock here. So I'll just fold this, burnish that. We could have it on a Misty Moonlight base. We're going to have some red ribbon on there as well. So that would look nice as well. Misty Moonlight looks nice. Let's try the Cherry Cobbler. I think this one, I'm going more for this one rather than the Pool Party actually. But let's try the Cherry Cobbler as well. I also have another half piece of that. So let's make a card base from that. We'll just score with our scoring blade and fold that in half. So this is my first play with this suite. As I said, Amber had made the samples for our event that we had on Saturday because I had been busy with classes and things, so I didn't have a chance to make any additional samples. So she kindly did those for me. So this is my first play with this beautiful suite, and I'm absolutely loving it. Oh, I like the Cherry Cobbler as well. So we've got the Cherry Cobbler. That looks nice as well. Between that and the blue, I think, that and the Misty Moonlight. Or we've got Old Olive. So we can try the Old Olive as well. Now we don't have any Old Olive on here yet, but we are going to be having some Old Olive pine leaves. So this color might look a little bit funny with these other colors at the minute because we don't have anything else that's green on there just yet, but we will have. So I'm not sure how this one is going to go. It might look a little bit weird just at the moment. Actually doesn't look too terrible. Once we've got some pine leaves on there as well. All right, so we've got those three. I think I will ditch the pool party card base. And I'm leaning towards the cherry cobbler or the misty moonlight, but we'll keep the old olive there just as a backup, and we'll come back to that part. All right, now let's do some stamping, and then we'll do some embossing and some die cutting, but we've got all of our bits and pieces ready. So we are going to stamp. Let me grab the stamps. How's the volume today, by the way? Yes, Amber just said maybe decide last after you've got your other components. The color balance might change. Yes, very true. Very true. How's the volume today? Oh, hey Jenny, how you going? You just remembered that I was going live. That's okay. All good. All right, so we are going to first of all stamp these bouquets here, and I'm going to, so on this card, it does look like they've been colored with Stampin' blends, but it's actually the DSP. So these haven't been colored at all. So I'm going to stamp these myself, gold emboss them, and then I'm going to color them with the Stampin' blends, but I'm going to color them in 3 colors. I'm going to use the Pool Party, the Pretty in Pink, and the, well actually I think I was going to use, yeah, anyway, pink, one of the pinks, and then Cherry Cobbler. So we'll have the 3 colors there as well, which will help to balance out these other colors. Okay. All right, so let's grab out our stamp set. You like the Cherry Cobbler best at the moment, Glenda? Yeah, I think I do as well. But we'll wait until we see once we get all the other colors on here. All brand new stamps, they haven't been used yet. Very exciting. The protective layer is coming off them. Now I have to make sure that I give this a good clean before I use it, because as we know, with photopolymer stamps, they come with a little bit of manufacturing oils on them. And if you don't clean them before you use them, they do tend to repel the ink a little bit. So let me just grab a block. I'm just deciding which block is going to fit. Oh, they do just fit on that one, but the bigger one might be better. So this is the eye block. It does fit. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's within the edges of the... Just might move it over a little bit. How about I just do that? Just move it over a tad. That's better. There we go. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do that because I just realized when I put it down, we want this to be able to be cut out with the dies. So we need to make sure that we are not bending it when we're putting it on our block. So I'm just going to grab some grid paper. Got some little offcuts of grid paper here. I'll pop this face down on the grid paper so it can relax into its natural shape, and then we'll take the block to the stamp and pick it up that way. Then we know that the stamp has not been twisted or bent out of shape. Okay, all right. Now we're going to give that one a good clean. Let's move those other stamps up there, out of the way. Bring in my chamois. Oh, sound is good today, Angela. Thanks so much for letting me know. That's great. All right, so give it a good scrub, scrub, scrub. And dry it off. Always dry it off first on your scrap paper before you take it to your ink pad, because otherwise you're transferring moisture from the chamois into your ink pad then, and it's going to water down your ink pad, or your ink in your ink pad. All right, so I'm using Versamark. I've got my heat tool ready to go. I've got my gold embossing powder somewhere. Oh, here. I put everything over here ready to go. I wasn't sure if I was going to use white or gold, but I've decided on the gold, so I'll put the white to the side. And I've got my Embossing Editions toolkit here. You can purchase this in the online store, and it comes with the tray, with the embossing buddy, the reverse grip tweezers, which are fantastic and great for holding your ribbon when you're trying to tie bows as well, and the brush, which is great to clean your tray and brush away any of those little stray bits of embossing powder. All right, we're going to be stamping on a piece of basic white, and we're going to stamp 2 of these, and this is the offcut from when I the piece that I used for the sentiment. So because I'm doing gold, what I'm going to do is use my embossing buddy to rub this over my white cardstock. So the embossing buddy is a little puffy pillow, we like to call it, the little puffy pillow. It's got special powder in it, and it's making me cough right now. It's an anti-static pillow. So when you rub it over your cardstock, it puts like a very fine powder over the cardstock, so that when you're stamping your ink, the embossing powder will only stick to where the ink is, and it shouldn't stick to the rest of the cardstock, because the cardstock picks up oils from our hands, grease. If we've got any ink or anything, you can get little, you know, bits of that on there, and you won't see it until you go to put your embossing powder on, and then you'll see the embossing powder will stick to anything else, any other oils, anything else that's sticky on that cardstock. And we only want the embossing powder to stick to the stamped image. All right, so I've given that a good ink. I'm just going to turn it sideways because this is a long stamp, and it's easier for me to do it this way. Making sure I'm leaving enough around the edges, I hope, for that die. There we go. Okay, so we've got one on there. I'm going to put the gold embossing powder on that one already, and then we'll stamp the second one because we're going to need 2 of these. Oops, I'll bring this down here so you can see. So give a good sprinkle with your gold embossing powder. Now I'm using the old embossing powder. We do have a new one now called Wow embossing powder, but I don't have that one yet because I'm still using up some of my old embossing powder. But it comes in 2 sets. One is the metallics. Let's give a gentle tap on the back there. One is the metallics and one is the basics. So I'm using the metallics, or one of the metallics. All right, I've got a fine tip brush as well, just because if you've got any finer detail and you want to get in there to brush away any extra little bits. I've been using this paintbrush for, I've lost track of how many years. All right, so that's our first one. Now, I won't clear that out yet because I'm going to add some more to that in a minute. I'm going to turn this around and we're going to stamp a second one. Now, see how I've been handling all of that cardstock? I am not doing another go over with the embossing buddy, but let's just see if the cardstock has picked up any oils from my hands. Now I need to make sure that I stagger these a little bit because I need to make sure there's room for the die to get around that. Okay, nice good press. And release that, and we'll put some more gold embossing powder on. There we go, spread that around. Give that another go up that end. There we go. Give it a little tap, 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 just a gentle tap. Don't want to bash it too hard because if you bash it too hard, all of those little granules will come off. So you just want to do a light tap just to release any excess. And there we go, we've got our 2 beautifully stamped floral arrangements there. All right, now before we go any further, I'll just move this over to the side and we're going to return our embossing powder to our tub before we even turn on our heat tool. Okay, we're going to brush that all down. carefully take the cap off, pour that back in. And then we just use this brush to sweep that all down. It's very important to clean your tray between colours too. If you are going from using a gold powder to then using a white powder or a black powder, it's very important to clean your tray thoroughly, otherwise you'll mix your embossing powders. I usually give it a wipe out with a tissue before changing colours. And remember to clean out the cap as well from the end there, so that you, because some of the embossing powder gets caught in there too. All right, there we go. Tweezers we will use again. Where did I put that embossing buddy? I'll put that back there. All right, now let's use our tweezers to hold our cardstock so we don't burn our fingers. I've got my Stampin' Up heat tool. Oh, actually, before we do that, we need to clean our stamp. I better do that. Get that ink off our stamp. All right, our Stampin' Up heat tool has 2 settings. It's got a number 1 setting and a number 2 setting. Number 1 is usually for if you are drying something, if you've been spritzing your cardstock or you're trying to dry the ink or whatever, you'll use number 1 setting. Always for heat embossing, use number 2, okay? So just let that heat up for a moment. And then once it's heated up, you'll see that it'll melt the embossing powder quite quickly. In fact, I'm just going to grab a silicone craft sheet to put on my desk so that I don't overheat my desktop. And you'll see that as the embossing powder starts to melt, it becomes shiny and raised. And that's when you know to keep moving your heat tool down a bit further or across a bit further to the other parts. Don't hold it too long in one spot because you can actually overheat that embossing powder, and it'll then go flat and melt into the cardstock. And that is done. That's how quick and easy it is. We've got that beautiful shimmer there. Oh, I just might hit that little bit there. I just missed a bit. I noticed on the bottom of that that ribbon. Let's check this one. That all looks pretty good. Yep, it's all raised. I always like to check in good light to make sure it's all raised and properly melted. Okay, so then we'll let that just cool for a moment. You don't want to try die cutting it when it's still warm. I'm just going to take a baby wipe to wipe my desk. Just finish that packet. I just noticed I spilt a little bit of embossing powder here, so we want to get rid of that off the desk. All right. Okay, so now we're going to grab our dies. Where did I put them? Here they are. Okay. In fact, you know what? I think before we die cut, we're going to colour. I think it will be better to colour before we die cut. Yes, let's do that. All right, so here are the blends that I have out, as I mentioned before. Now with your Stampin' blends, they are alcohol markers. They are going to absorb into your cardstock, and I've only used standard basic white. I haven't used the thick this time. So, so they are going to absorb quite a bit more than normal. Okay, so I am going to colour my flowers. Oh, I will actually need a little bit of green as well. I didn't get out the old olive, so I'll grab that as well. I forgot that I will need to do some leaves. Okay. All right, now you can be as particular with this as you want, or you can just use a single colour. if you want to do blending, then start with your darker colour and just add a little bit of the darker colour around the edges where you want to have a bit of that sort of shadowing. And then you're going to blend that out with the lighter colour. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of dark like that. Then I'm going to take my light cherry cobbler and just blend that. Okay, now with the black, I might actually change to my bullet tip. Sorry, not with the black, with the gold embossing powder. You have to be careful with the Stampin' Blends not to colour over the edge of the gold embossing, because you will lose it. It'll actually colour the embossing, because the alcohol is actually good for using on non-porous surfaces or non-porous images. So you don't want to lose the detail of that gold. So just be careful to stay within the gold border so that you don't lose that detail. Okay. All right, so next will be the pinks. So I'm going to use a combination of one of the natural tones, which is the SU100. That's the from the light combo. And then I'm also going to use the light Pretty in Pink. And we'll do, so this is a little bit darker. And then we'll go in with the SU1000. It's the lightest colour in the natural tones. And we'll just blend that darker colour a little bit, just going over the edge of that darker colour, just to blend that in a little bit so we don't have any harsh lines between the two colours. We just want to blend them nicely together. There we go. Okay. And if you want a little bit more depth of colour, you can go back in with a little bit more dark if you want to, just depending on how much depth of colour you want in your flowers. All right, and then the other flower, we're going to make that one blue, just like on the designer series paper. So this is Pool Party. So we'll do the same, just add a little bit around the edges, towards the inside, where those sort of shadowy bits would be. It's very easy with the blends because they come in a combo of light and dark. It's very, very easy to colour with these, and you get really great effects. Just going quite gently with colouring these ones because of the gold embossing. I don't want to go over the edge of that gold embossing. Don't want to lose that detail. There we go. Okay, awesome. Now we've got the leaves to do, and I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of dark either side of those little veins. Might add some towards the bottom on these ones, and then we're going to blend that with the light old olive. Oh, that one's got a very tight cap. Important to cap your lids straight away after you've used them, so that that alcohol ink doesn't dry out, because it will dry out quite quickly. Now, how does everybody else like their Stampin' Blends? Let me know. How do you go with your Stampin' Blends, or have you never used Stampin' Blends before? Let me know in the comments. I know some people have said that they have a bit of a struggle with them. Other people are not feeling real confident about them, and then others absolutely love them. I love them. I think that they are so easy to use, and you get such smooth colouring with them. And I love that you can create the tone, and you can mix colours too to create different colours. There we go. So that's beautiful. All right, now for the bow. I'm not sure that we're even going to see the bow, but I'm going to colour it anyway, just in the cherry cobbler. But I'm not sure that we're really going to see much of it. There we go. You love yours, Angela. You love your Stampin' Blends. Fantastic. That's good to know. They're lots of fun. And with the Stampin' Right markers leaving us soon, these are going to be, well, they have proven to be very popular, which is why the Stampin' Right markers are actually leaving us after so long, because these have become so popular that people aren't using the Stampin' Right markers as much these days. There we go. Okay, so that's one lot done. So that looks beautiful, doesn't it? With the three different coloured flowers there. Now, if you wanted, you could add a little bit of colour in with the, well, actually, let's do that. Let's do a little bit of colouring in here, in amongst these little pine leaves. Give them a little bit of colour as well, like in the designer series paper. And then we can add some light as well. Oh, hi Amanda, how are you going? Great to have you with us. How's your day been today? We are playing with the Traditions of Christmas suite today, and we are doing a mashup of the two cards that Amber made for our display on Saturday. We are mashing them up to create a different card, but using similar ideas. There we go. Beautiful. That just adds a little bit more to it, doesn't it? You love your Stampin' Blends too, Glenda? Fantastic. All right, now for the other one. All right, what did we start with? We started with the centre flower first in the cherry cobbler. A little bit of dark. Being careful again not to go over that gold embossing. Add in our light. There's not, I find with the cherry cobbler, there's not a huge amount of difference between the light and the dark as there is with some of the other colours, because it's quite a rich colour, the cherry cobbler. There's a little bit of difference, but not a whole heap. There we go. All right, and our pink. So we use the light pretty in pink and the SU 1000. Which one was the pink one? Yep, the one on this side. So this is the light pretty in pink. Very easy to lay the colours down too. You only need a very, very light hand, because what happens is, because they are alcohol based, once the alcohol hits the paper, it continues to absorb and spread. So you only actually need a very light hand when you use these. You don't need to push very hard at all. And also too, you need to protect your nibs, especially the other end, the brush tip. The brush tips are very soft, and if you push too hard, you'll actually feather them and make them splay out, and then you'll have a lot of trouble controlling where your colour is going down. So it's very important to only use a very light hand when you're using the tips. And don't use them straight down like that, especially with the brush tip. Don't use them straight down like that. Always have them at an angle, because you'll notice that the tip is an angle, and so you need to follow sort of that angle to protect the shape of the tip. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. All right, and now the blue. Maybe, oh, the green stems for the flowers. Yes, for the leaves, sorry. Oh, let me start again. Maybe green stems for the flowers. Yes, I understand. All right, let's add a little bit of light green for the stems. I just got to go beside the stems though. I can't go over the stems because if you go over the stems, you'll lose the gold. So I'll just go over
It's okay.
them. Oh, Siri told me it was okay. So there you go. Siri's happy with what I'm doing. There we go. All right. Let's do the blue. So we'll start with the dark Pool Party. I love Pool Party. It's a nice colour. It's sort of like an aquamarine almost blue. It's like a greeny blue. It's got very soft green undertones. It's a very pretty colour. Does anybody remember the beautiful mint macaron that we used to have? Oh, I loved mint macaron. It was a very light bluey green colour, whereas this is the other way. It's a greeny blue. But it went really well with Pool Party as well. It was one of my favourites, but it retired. Okay, so we've got the flowers done. Now the leaves. That little touch of gold again. You like that, Jenny? You think that looks good? Great, thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. All right, so just adding a little bit of the dark old olive. To the leaves. And when you're working with Stampin' Blends, it's a good idea just to work with a small section at a time so that's manageable, because you want that previous colour that you laid down to still be a little bit moist when you add the extra, the additional colour over the top or beside when you're blending. So yeah, so if you're working on a larger image, don't lay down, like don't work on a large section at a time, just do a small section at a time. Like I've done quite a few leaves here, but they're only small, so I'm working between them like quite quickly so that the ink isn't just sitting there drying out. We want that ink that I've already laid down on the leaves to still be moist when I add the extra colour. And if things don't look like they're blending enough, just go back over them. Just go back over that dark a little bit. There we go. All right, and then we'll add our little bit of light and dark in with the pine leaves. Again, just trying to lay the colour down in between the gold line art image so that we don't go over that gold, because we don't want to lose the luster of that gold. And I'll just add a little bit of the green there, as Jenny suggested. Whoops, I went over that one a bit. There we go. Okay, and then we'll add in a little bit of dark in with the pine leaves to give a little bit of light and dark shade. I probably should have put the dark down first actually, but it doesn't matter too much with the pine leaves because both colours are, so we're sort of not blending as much with those. We want each of those colours to sort of show through. So there we go. All right. Okay, and the bow, a little bit for the bow. Oh, no worries, Angela. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we'll add a little bit of the dark cherry cobbler, just here where the shadowy bits would be. And then this is the longest part of the process, is just the colouring. Once you get the colouring done, hopefully the rest of it shouldn't take too much time. I did just remember too that I didn't stamp the sentiment when I stamped these images, and I probably should have done that at the same time because I do have to gold emboss that as well. So we might come back to that. Oops, nearly missed the middle of the bow. There we go. Okay, so we've got our two beautifully coloured images there. Now I'll set that aside to dry for a moment while we do our sentiment, and I've got my little strip here that we prepared earlier. Let's grab the other stamp set, the sentiment stamp set, and we're going to use 'Tis the Season. Okay, so we'll take that one out, pop that down there, and we'll grab our block. And especially with the straight sentiments that are photopolymer, it's always a good idea to put them down, face down onto your paper first, let them relax into their natural shape, and then take your block to the stamp so that you know that it's nice and straight. Okay, unless you purposely want to bend it into a particular shape. All right, so we need our embossing stuff back again. I'll do some embossing buddy again. It's half the time I forget to use that. I'm always telling everybody else to use it, and then half the time I forget to use it myself. So naughty. Okay, and then we'll take our Versamark ink up our stamp. Just tap, tap, tap. Don't push your ink pad down into your stamp because you're going to get it in between the letters or in between the design. You just want to do tap, tap, tap on the surface of the stamp. Okay, make sure that's nice and straight. Make sure this is lined up nice and straight in the center. There we go. Great thing with photopolymer is you can see exactly where you're stamping. There we go. Alrighty. So let's quickly heat emboss that one while that's still, that ink is still wet. With the Versamark ink, it is quite a sticky ink, so it does stay wet a lot longer than say like the regular classic Stampin' pads. They're actually a water-based ink, so they dry really quickly. So they're not so good for embossing because the ink dries too quick. Just move that away a little bit from the end. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. All right, so we'll heat emboss that. I'll just return the ink back to the container first. Whoops. So anybody else crafting along with me today? What are you all creating? Let me know in the comments what you are creating today if you're crafting along with me, or are you just sitting back and relaxing, or perhaps you've got me just playing in the background while you're busy doing other things, maybe preparing dinner or doing something else. I often like to have videos and things playing in the background when I'm crafting myself, or sometimes when I'm preparing dinner, I'll have something playing in my ears while I'm doing things. All right, let's cap that and put that away out of sight of the heat tool. And the one that we've already heat embossed, I'm moving that right away too, so I don't accidentally melt that again, because we don't want to do that now. We spent all that time colouring it. Oh, hang on, I've just realised I've got some little granules here. I might use my fine tip brush right near where my tweezers were, so must have come off the tweezers. There we go. So these tweezers that come in the Embossing Editions toolkit are awesome because the tips are ceramic, so they do get a bit hot, but they don't get damaged from the heat tool. So they look like they're plastic, but they're actually, I should have heated that up a bit first. They're actually ceramic, so they won't melt with the heat of the heat tool. So there we go, we can see that melting as we go. Just move that along. You don't need to wave the heat tool. I know a lot of people wave their heat tool around. You don't really need to do that. Just move it along as that embossing powder melts. That's all you need to do. And that is beautiful. Perfect. Can you see that shiny there in the light? That's melted beautifully. All right, so we'll set that aside to cool down. And I better put those back in the thingy so I know where they are later on, because I'll be looking for them. Okay, so now we can do some die cutting. I'll bring in my little mini today. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't clean my sentiment stamp set. So we better do that. The Versamark, being a very sticky ink, does take a little bit of extra cleaning, just because it likes to stay put because it's so sticky. And then make sure you dry that off on your scrap paper. Okay. All right, die cutting. We're going to die cut these two floral bouquets, but I'm actually going to cut them apart because I don't want my embossing plates, if my embossing plates are already marked, I don't want them damaging the other piece. So I'm just going to do them individually like that. And then we've got to die cut a little bit of I'll get some more of the old olive, because we're going to be cutting also some pine leaves. So I'll just trim this down, make that a little bit smaller so it's easier to manage. And we might go, where is that die? Let me see, just see how much we need. Now we don't need the full pine leaf. The full pine die is actually very long. Hang on 2 secs. Oops, bumping everything here. It's very long, so we don't need all of that. I was going to say if there were any pre-cut, I would use them, but they're not. So I'm not worried if it goes off the bottom, because we're not actually going to be using the very bottom part. So I think I'm just going to cut these in strips of, how wide is that? We'll go about 5 centimeters. 5, there we go, and we'll get 3 out of that. So that'll be good. Okay. Now plates, we need the plates. There we go. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch. I'm going to use the big machine because we can cut multiples at a time. That'll be a better idea. It'll be much quicker. Whoops, move those. Bring in these. I had this one set up for the embossing, and I was going to use the mini for the die cutting, but then I realized, well, it's actually, time is marching on and I need to get a wriggle on. So I'll just hold this in place with a bit of post-it tape. You see that there? I'll just move that up a little bit. And we'll grab the die for the floral piece. And we'll put some washi tape, not washi tape, I've got my post-it tape today. Sometimes I use washi tape and sometimes I use post-it tape, depending on what I'm doing or what's close at hand. And this one was close at hand today, so alrighty, line that up. That looks pretty good. Hold that there and that up there. Pop that in. And we can put those in side by side and we can do both together. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it might bump the camera a little bit as I do this. There we go, beautiful. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, all right, that's one. That's another one. Now I might need my take a pic tool for this one to poke out the release holes, and also we've got some additional little pieces here that need to be poked out. If you've got a die brush, you could use the die brush. I just didn't grab mine today, but we'll try and just release this. There we go. All right, there's a couple of extra little bits that just need to be poked out there. Okay, so that's one. All right, let's repeat the process. We've got our other one here. I just realised that's off camera a little bit. Sorry about that. We've got our other floral bouquet here. So we will, there we go. Oops, no, not quite. There we go. That's better. Usually with the washi tape, I can use it many, many times, but with the post-it tape, I don't usually get as many uses out of it before I have to get a new piece. There we go. All right. So who else has started their Christmas cards? Did anybody answer that question before? I didn't see any answers come through when I asked that before. Has anyone else started their Christmas cards yet? We're just into September, and I know the mini catalogue has only just come out, so perhaps some of you haven't had a chance to purchase anything yet, or maybe you have been making Christmas projects using some of the products that you already had from previous years. That's great too. It's important to use what we've got in our stash. Don't always have to be using new stuff. It's important to use what we've got. But it is always nice to have new things too, isn't it? I think so. I know a lot of you think so too. And, you know, we're crafters. Crafters are collectors, right? We love collecting things. We love collecting craft supplies. I'm a collector of lots of things. My brooches, as you know, and other things as well. I've always been a collector ever since I was a kid. I've always loved collecting different things. I think we've had that conversation before, haven't we, on some of my lives about the different things that we collect. All right, we're doing a third leaf, and then that's our die cutting. Oh, we've got to actually do a label. Wait, before I put that through, let's do our label. Whoop, I just remembered we've got to do our little pool party label. Hang on a sec, I've just got to fix this up before I wreck that. I've just, my little photocopy of how my dies go back on my die sheet. I had it all crinkled up in the packet, and I thought, oh no, that's going to get wrecked. All right, so we're going to the traditional label dies, and not that one. We're going to use this one here. So it's almost a rectangle, but it's got slightly curved ends. So we're going to use that as our label die. Okay, did you know with your dies that they have the order number on them that they belong with, on the backs of them? Some of them, not all of them. This one does. But yeah, does this one? I don't know if this one does. No, just the label one. Maybe it's just the labels that have that on it. Interesting. I always thought it was all of them, but maybe not. Maybe it's just one in each set. I'm not sure. But there you go. Have a check on your dies. See if you can see if there's a number on the back of your... It's the product number. It's the number that we use when we're ordering the products. Oh, you have started your Christmas cards, Glenda? Good on you. Well done. Okay, I think that should be it for the die cutting. So, oh, we do need to do embossing, so we'll do that while we've got that here. Just remove those plates. Let's just pop these out first, and then we'll go to the embossing. Then we're ready to put everything together. Pop this one out. Now this one, just be really careful with the edges as you pop this out, because it's got that detailed stitching around the edges. So just be very gentle. You could even use your, if you get your, take your pick tool under the edge and just run that around, because wherever there is stitching, it always likes to try and bite into the cardstock. So just be very gentle as you remove that one so that you don't tear your cardstock. Okay, and this one, let's pop that out. There we go. Again, didn't need a whole, the whole sprig. So just get our little take your pick tool under the edge there and just slide that up. There we go. Pop out those extra little bits. Oh, they already popped out themselves. No, they didn't. They're stuck in the die. Let's pop them out. Make sure that you pop out all your extra little bits from your dies before you use them again. And clean your plates off. All right. Now we've got to emboss that white piece that we had before, which is our matte layer. So we'll grab out the embossing folder. Pop that over here. No, where did I put that? That's here. It's on the other side. So this is the traditional wreath 3D embossing folder. Alrighty, we'll pop our card in there in the center. So as you can see, it's a large wreath. So we're just going to be seeing some of that wreath. So I'm just centering that there in the middle. Just bring that down a little bit. And when I close that, I'll just make sure that I've got the wreath showing top and bottom, and that's sort of centered. I might need to just slide it up a little bit more. Yep, that's better. Okay, so for a 3D embossing folder, we just need our base plate number 1. You put the embossing folder on there with the cardstock inside of it, with the hinge first. Always hinge first through the machine. And then you take the grey plate number 4 and put that over the top. There we go. And there we have that beautiful embossing. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? You see that in the light? It's really, really deep in texture because it's a 3D folder. So love that. It's so beautiful. Okay, so that is all of our pieces. And now we're ready to put together our card. Oh, you know what I didn't do? The sentiment, I just need to trim the ends. Let's get all of our pieces here. We're just going to trim the ends at an angle. So I'm just going to go like that. And then I'm going to use that piece. Let's make sure we get the right angle. That piece to go down this end, to use that as a little template. So I know where to trim this end. Make sure I get that at the right angle. It's not straight. There we go. Okay. So then to get the same angle, yep, that's it. Like that. Oops. Just went a little bit short. There we go. Okay. So there we have all of our components ready to put the card together. Now we can start laying all of this down and then we can work out what colour base we're going to have. So let's start putting this all together. All right, look at this beautiful paper on the background. I know a lot of you are probably sad that I'm covering that up, but it's okay because you know what? I've got plenty more of it for other projects. So it's all good. All right, we're going to pop this down over here in a little bit from the edges. I'm following Amber's template from her beautiful card that she created, and I'm just doing it in a different colour. Just changing up those colours a little bit. There we go. Okay, then we're going to have the red going over the top. Now, which way up do we want this to go? I think that way. This one over the top, and this is basically going in the middle. So that looks about right. Just using my eyes here. I hope that they are not deceiving me, but thereabouts. Doesn't have to be exact. If you want it to be exact though, you can measure, but I'm not going to worry to do that today. All right, beautiful. Then we're going to have our floral bouquets. So we'll have one going that way, and they're actually going to be popped up on dimensionals actually. So let's put some dimensionals on the back of them before we, well actually let me just check to see how they're going to overlay. Might need to even trim a little bit because that's going over there. Yep, so I might need to even trim off the bow because that's going to be going. So I might trim the bow off this one. After I now spent the time colouring it, I'm going to cut that off because I'm going to tuck that under there. Actually, we'll have it that way. And that's going to be covering over the top. Yeah. And then we're going to put some of these pines in behind here. And we're probably going to need to trim them down a bit more too because they're going to be way too long. So we'll probably need to trim them about there like that. So we can tuck them in. I might just pop these up on dimensionals first. Where did I put them? Oh, I've put all of my blends on top of them. Here we go. Okay. Oh, look, I've got some end pieces to use up. Let's use up some of those little end pieces. We don't want to waste them. All those little edge pieces. Oh, we'll leave that one. Okay, so just cap my glue for a minute. Take a pick tool. Where did I put that? There you go. That's hiding. It's hiding. Alrighty, so we'll just pop on a whole heap of these dimensionals. We want to make sure that our piece is well supported. Now I'm going to put dimensionals all the way down on this one, but this one is chopped there at the bottom, so I think that should be all good to put. Let's go there like that. Now nobody's going to see the back of this, of course, so they're not going to see all of our half bits and pieces of dimensionals. So it's all good. Let's pop this one in the middle to support the middle. And I might leave that bit because I think that's going to overlap. So let's see now. So that's going to go like that. And that one can go underneath like that. Actually, that one might need to go over the top like that. Yep, and then that will go over, and that will go over the top of that. So there's lots of dimension on this one. I'm actually going to add the dimensionals to this one now. I'll get my other sheet of dimensionals. Oh, there we go. We'll pop those down there. So I've just turned that upside down on top of that sentiment label so that I can see where to line them up. So we don't want to put dimensionals too close to the end because then they'll be hanging off and they won't be supporting the main part of the sentiment. Oops. So just add that to there like that. Okay, and then that's going to go on top like that. And then I've just got to work out about these pine pieces, how I'm going to arrange those, because I'm just deciding if they will, maybe they'll need to come out from behind there like that. And I might need to trim this one down a bit too. Whoops. You know what? You could use these as well for little tufts of grass. If you trimmed them down, they make really cool little tufts of grass. Can you see that from those? I can see little tufts of grass. Could have them like that. And then let's trim this one down as well. We could have one coming out down here as well. Or we could have one at the top and then have two at the bottom. Just trying to work out the positioning of that first before I add them, before I stick everything down. It's always good to do that, so to work out where you're going to have everything. We want two at the bottom, or do we want two at the top? I'm going to have three, so just working out if we want two at the bottom or two at the top. I think I liked the two at the top and one at the bottom. Let's change it up. And put this one over this side like that, something like that. And then we're going to work out which colour base. I think we're going to put all of this together first and then we'll work out our base and we'll add that to our base. All right, so that's kind of how we're going to have it. Let's adhere down our sprigs now. We just want to make sure that the bottom part of our sprigs is actually hidden behind the stamped image. Okay, so just put a bit of glue there. So it's going to go kind of there like that. Let's tuck this in there like that. That'll be good. And we'll just stick that down. And then this one, bit of glue, and we'll have this one coming out this way like that. Yep, they can overlap a little bit there. And then we can adhere this one down. Oopsie, there we go. Is Glenda the only other one who has started their Christmas cards? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess it is only just September, so I'll give you all a little bit of grace for that. Oh, you can start your Christmas cards whenever you like, but it is, yeah, it's going to be here before we know it. It surely is. The year has just gone so quick, hasn't it? Has everyone else been finding that your year has just gone by so fast? Seems crazy that we are already, like, I can't even believe my son has already been married for 12 months. They just had their first anniversary at the end of last month. That has gone so fast. And yeah, so time just marches on, doesn't it? All right, I think we'll put that one there like that. And we'll attach this one, adhere this one, I should say. Well, attach, adhere, same thing, same. Hey, here's a question for you all. Has anybody started their Christmas shopping yet? It's really early for that, but I did see last week that there is already some Christmas stuff starting to creep into the stores already. I was astounded when I saw that. I thought, oh my goodness, like it's only just September and there's already Christmas stuff in the stores. Crazy. All right, so we'll work out where we're going to place these dimensionals. We just need to put them on the outside edges because all of this is already dimensionalized. So we just need to put that on the outside edges so it just sort of straddles that there. There we go. Whoops, and be careful, very delicate edges with this sentiment. I might actually hold it from here. Now let's see, we've got to get that sort of in the middle. Make sure I'm getting it straight. Let's come over this way a bit. And I reckon that's about right. So attach that there. Did I get that straight? I think so. All right, there we go. So that is the basis of our card. Now we've got to put it onto, we still need our ribbon and our bling, but we need to decide on a coloured card base. So these were our 3 options. Now let's have a look. We'll do them one at a time. So this is the cherry cobbler. Okay, so that's a cherry cobbler. That looks really nice on the cherry cobbler. Really pretty. Maybe we need to add our ribbon and bling first though too, because that's going to add to the color balance. So we're going to use some of this beautiful ribbon, and this is actually, so interestingly, the color in the DSP is cherry cobbler, but this ribbon is actually real red. So, but it goes so well. So we'll tie a nice bow. Okay, and we're going to add that here somewhere. We'll need to trim that up, of course. Let's trim that up. I think that is going to be a little bit too long, so let's just make it a little bit shorter. We don't need a big bow, just a little one. Oops. And get our little bow, just get that to sit nicely. And we're going to pop that down here. Like that. This one's still a bit long. Just trim that a little bit more. Quite wide ribbon, this one. It's at 1.3 centimeters. Oops, I didn't trim that properly. The tip of it keeps on running away from me. All right, so there we go. So we'll pop that on there with a little glue dot. So we'll grab our little glue dots and you can take your bow directly to your glue dot and pick up that glue dot. And if the glue dot is a little bit wide, just push it back over on itself. Just sort of wrap it over on itself. And then we're going to pop that down here. And pop that down about there. There we go. Beautiful. And we'll pop our bling on there as well. Still don't have it attached to the base yet though, because we're still deciding. Now, all of these products, as I mentioned, they are available right now in the online store, and you can find that via my blog or via my website. Oh, it's a bit dirty, isn't it? Okay, so I'm thinking some gold. I'm thinking we should put some more gold on there. And we've got the 3 different sizes. So let's go with the medium. Let's go with a medium one up here. And then we'll get a small one and add that down here. And let's get another medium one. And we'll put that down here. There, like that. Okay, beautiful. All right, now what are we thinking about the card base? Do we like the red? The cherry cobbler, that looks beautiful. Or do we want a bit more colour, and do we want to go with a bit more of the green? Oh, I like that too, with the old olive. That really brings out the old olive in the pine leaves, doesn't it? I do like that, actually. That looks really nice. And you know what now? I really liked the blue at first, but I don't think the blue is going... Well, it could go on the blue too. Look at that. Because that picks up then this blue. It really could go on any of those 3 colours. But I think I'm radiating towards the blue. Towards the green. This is the old olive. Move that one away. What do you think? You like that on the old olive? Brings in more of the green, doesn't it? You like the green too, Amber? Okay, let's go the green. It's decided. I do like the green. Now, liquid glue is going to be your best friend when adhering a 3D embossed piece, because you've got all that detail that you need the glue to adhere to. And because you've got all those crevices, you really want something like a really good strong adhesive. Okay, so, and just so you know too, when you are embossing your piece, especially with a 3D embossing folder, there will be a little bit of shrinkage of the cardstock as it puts that beautiful embossing into the cardstock. Okay, so if you end up with slightly different size borders than what you started with, don't freak out, that's why. All right, now I'm going to open that up and give that a rub from the inside. Make sure that all sticks. Now, and I will add an insert in there later on, but I usually don't do the inserts on camera because it just takes a bit of extra time that we usually don't have. But there you go. What do you think? So let's have a look at Amber's 2 cards. So they were her 2 cards, and this is my mashup. Let's put my mashup in the middle. There we go. So can you see how I have taken some of the elements from this one? I've taken the colours from this one and the pines and this part here. And then from this card I've used, like the DSP, she used the DSP on hers. I stamped and coloured my own, changed the colours a little bit, used the embossing folder and used the layout. So 3 totally different cards now. What do you think? I feel like I do need to burnish my actually I might do it from the back. I need to burnish my fold there to make the card sit a bit better. There we go, that's better. Hadn't burnished it quite hard enough. There you go. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Kay. Thanks so much. Kay likes it. Awesome. Oh, you liked it with the cherry cobbler, Glenda. Do you know what? I think it went with all 3 of those colours. I think you could do it with the other colours and have 3 totally different cards as well. Thanks, Glenda. I'm glad you like it. Well, thank you to Amber for creating the original designs for us to copy. That worked out really well. And instead of this bow here, I could have used the die bow, but instead I used a real ribbon bow. So it turned out really beautifully. I love that. So now we've got 3 very different cards. So there you go. And there's the measurements for you if you needed. Actually, I'll just bring that down a little bit. If you needed the measurements for those layers and the sentiment as well. I just didn't give you measurements for these bits. But I will have it all on my blog for you, so don't be too worried. All right. Oh, thanks, Dimity. All right, I'm going to flip the camera back up face to face so I can say goodbye to you all. So just bear with me one moment. Here we go. All right, just readjust this. There we go. Oh, readjust that camera. Alrighty, there we go. There's an up close look, or you're probably seeing it back to front now. Well, you see the sentiment back to front, but yeah, and the whole design will be flipped. But how beautiful is it? Simple design, like just with the layers, very simple design, but the detail in this suite is just outstanding. It's so beautiful, and I love all the gold. You can see all that gold all flashing there. Just makes it so elegant, doesn't it? So there you go. So I hope that you got some ideas from that. And as I said, all of those products are from the mini catalogue, the September to December 2025 mini catalogue. So I'll take my glasses off. The lights are reflecting in there. If you would like to get a copy of this catalogue, if you don't already have one, be sure to let me know. I'd love to get one out to you if you are here in Australia and you don't already have a demonstrator that you're working with. I would love to be your demonstrator. I'd love to look after you and give you the best customer service that I can. So yeah, feel free to ask me for a catalogue. All right. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Good night. Have a great evening. Thank you to everybody who joined me live today. Thank you for everyone who watches the replay as well. I appreciate the support that you all give me. I'm very thankful. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic week and that you find some time to do some crafting or something that you love during the week. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Happy crafting. Bye.